Yo, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we'll be talking about how your thoughts are creating your future reality. Now, understand that your thoughts in your brain create neurological pathways that lead to certain outcomes. So, that habit that you're not even aware of, that one habit, it's a habit that you created through indulging in that action more than you can count, right? So, like, for example, people who don't make their bed. The reason why you don't make your bed and you just decide not to do it is because you have a neurological pathway in your brain leading you away from making up your bed. And that's why when you want to make up your bed, you find that you actually have resistance to making up your bed. So not only do you not make your bed, making up your bed is difficult to you because your brain is programmed not to make up your bed. So when you start to make up your bed, if you don't consciously decide to do it consistently and persist, then you'll end up just not making up your bed 2 days after you said and told yourself you were going to make up your bed. So understand that your thoughts are actively creating pathways to certain outcomes. Now, that's when we start to look at the quality of thought. If you always have low, degenerate, poor thoughts, then you're always going to have low, degenerate, poor outcomes. If you have high quality, wealthy thoughts, then you'll have a high quality, wealthy outcome. Now, persistence is key because the more you persist, the more you can strengthen that neurological pathway, and the more receptors and the more it'll just bind, and it'll cause less resistance and less friction when you do it. So when you look at someone who goes to the gym all the time, the reason that person has zero resistance when going to the gym is because their brain is wired to do that. So when you look at the fat guy who doesn't go to the gym, if he tries to go to the gym, he'll end up quitting in 3 days because his brain isn't wired to indulge in that certain activity to correspond to a certain outcome. So when you look at your habits, when you look at your quality of thoughts, what you're thinking about, it's more than just a thought. It's you actively creating an outcome for yourself in the future. So if you have these nasty, degenerative thoughts, then in the future you will degenerate. And same thing with the polarity of that. If you have prosperous thoughts, in the future you will prosper. And that's why you have to be very careful and have very conspicuous caution with your thoughts, because most people will let their thoughts control them and let their mind control them instead of control their mind. They let the mind master them instead of mastering their mind. When you have these negative thoughts that are forcing themselves to try to persuade you towards a certain outcome, you have to master your mind and learn how to ignore them, to learn how to sit through that negative feeling and to grow from them. Because I'm telling you, when you just listen to that yap in your brain, you're doing nothing but degenerating your own mind. You're doing nothing but forming negative neural pathways that are going to correspond to you being and acting on that thought, when you actually deep down just don't even want to act on that thought. You're just doing it because you're corresponding to the negativity, the low vibration, that low frequency that you're residing in. So especially with me, a personal experience is that if I feel some type of way that somebody has a certain type of negative feeling towards me, I'm not going to act on my thoughts. I'm not going to let my thoughts control the way I think. I'm literally just going to dive into it. I'm going to see, okay, I feel like this. I'm going to just think on it, and then I'm going to have a positive outcome because my brain is just wired towards the positive end. My brain isn't going to tell me to act in a negative way. My brain is going to tell me to act in a positive way and to solve the problem. In this world, we have problem solvers and we have problem creators. I'm a problem solver. If there's a job needed to be done, I'm going to get it fucking done because that's who I am. And when you have to deal with a problem creator, all they're doing is allowing you to exercise that neuroplasticity. All they're doing is allowing you to exercise your own intelligence and to exercise your own will to power through them. So when someone is negative and you are a problem solver, all you're doing is gaining XP every time you solve a problem they create. And that's why alchemy is so important, is because we're alchemicalizing these negative thoughts, these negative forces, into positive forces that are allowing us to gain XP and to level up higher and higher in this lifetime. So it's interesting that there's people that think like me, and there's also people that think maybe like you. And if you think like the person I said not to be, then no worries. You got me, you got my videos. We level up every day. So y'all ain't even got to worry about that. You listen to me, everything will come to you. Now, back to the thoughts. You want to build new neurological pathways in your brain that will lead you to outcomes that you want. So, for example, everyone has the desire to get money. And if you don't, you're a lying bitch. If you have the desire to get rich, you should be thinking like a rich person would already be thinking. You should be embodying the mind of future you that already has wealth, right? And understand that rich isn't just affluence and money and just monetization. Being rich is having rich thoughts, having a nice rich body, having rich health, having rich feeling and happiness, having a rich state of coherency that you operate from. Being rich is being rich. Being rich isn't just having money and being a bitch. Money is going to be added onto you the moment you become rich from within. So the moment you start to disregard and ignore these negative neurological pathways that you've wired yourself, and you start to shift into that positive state of being, that positive state of creating, that positive state of mind, you literally starts to transfigure, and you start to correspond to that outcome, that positive outcome, that positive way of thinking. And when you have these negative thought processes that you built up yourself unconsciously, you get to solve these, which not only make you gain XP, but just overall develop your character. You become a nicer person. You become more intelligent. You become more aware of who you are, who others are being. You become more tranquil. You become serenity. You become everything that you were supposed to become when that path of least resistance was created for you to become the best version of you the moment you came out that womb. Now, understand that reality isn't just a big fluke. Reality is it's a creation of just mechanical processes that allow life to transpire and inspire in the unfoldment of the universe. I mean, there's a reason why it's mechanically day and night. It's mechanically from a seed into a tree. It's mechanical sequences that really transfigure life and allow it to unfold. And that same unfoldment process that each human has to go through, the process of individuation, we all experience that because we are just essentially, we are the universe 13.8 billion years evolved, and now we take the form as human. So we are the humans, and we've just evolved. We're the universe taking the form as a human, and we are just a universe evolved into the human domain of living, into the human genus, into the human way of living and thinking. So we are the universe just evolved into humans. And you can identify with being your ego self, the you that gets mad at nothing, or you can identify with the real you, the universe evolved into human stuff, right? And I learned that from my mentor. Crazy, crazy. Unfolding, when you attach yourself to other people's processes, your process just, it rapidly starts to unfold too. Unfoldment really is key. But before you can unfold, before your thoughts start to unfold and bring you to a path you desire to be on, you need to understand that before you can do that, you need to rewire yourself from ignoring the negative outcome and inspiring and taking action, immediate action towards the positive outcome. Unfoldment begins when you decide, I know who I am and this is who I'm going to be. The moment you make that decision, everything will align if you continue to follow the pathway of the positive thoughts. Thoughts are pathways, not just neurological pathways, but pathways to outcomes. So if you follow that positive path and you keep going on where you need to go, you keep being who you need to be, you will end up at the outcome, the destination that pathway was leading you towards. And if you believe in a divine cosmic unfoldment, if you believe in God, if you believe in the Father of Christ, I believe in Jesus Christ, but I understand now that Jesus says himself, you must, through me, the Father will reveal himself. Through Jesus Christ, the Father will be revealed. And that's exactly what unfolded within me, is that I went to Jesus Christ and then I evolved into having a relationship with divine unfoldment. Now, you keep your cross tight, because if it wasn't for the cross, speaking for myself in this regard, I wouldn't be this intelligent. I wouldn't be this sophisticated in intellectual thought. I wouldn't be this magnetized to self-improvement and growth. I wouldn't be this magnetic when I speak about these subjects. I wouldn't be this much of myself if I didn't follow the higher thoughts, if I didn't follow that thoughts of I need religion. That's how it started, man. I'm telling you, with me, it started with, okay, I'm Mateo. Every man, it was like this. I need to be a man. Every man works hard. Every man most strong men have religion. I need to get strong. I need to get sober. Like, really, that's how it started with me, is I need to be a man, and religion was something that men have, and especially strong men with a strong will. They're not doing their will, they're acting out the will of God. And through that, you start to recognize divine unfoldment. And that's how it started with me, is I told myself, I need to become a man, and this is how I'm going to be a man. And through that, I kept on following the positive outcomes of that, what my thoughts were leading me to. And now I'm explaining to you how your brain works, how your thoughts unfold, and how we are essentially just a universe experiencing itself through divine unfoldment. But since we are individuals, we also should have an individualistic mind and understand that we are just individuals, experience the grand cosmic scheme of unfoldment. And the more you can recognize this, the better of a person you'll become, because all you're doing is expressing yourself to a higher altitude of your self-expression. Like, when you follow that thought outcome, you're just expressing yourself to a higher degree of expressing yourself. So you're just being who you are and being more of who you are. And through that, you'll just be you'll get your desires, you'll get the money, you'll get the fame, you'll get the fortune, you'll get the everything, because you decided to be what you want, and being what you want is leading you towards what you desire. It's the sense of self, the self-concept, and the desire. Who you are, who you're gonna be, and what you have to do to become who you're gonna be. And through following that process, you literally just, you start to unfold your own reality. And this is reality the reality synthesis. Shout out to reality synthesis. Like, I just got done reading his entire forum. I just got done reading that, and he knows exactly what he's talking about. He's been working on this theory for 8 years. He took up the responsibility from Neville Goddard, and he just started cooking up. And you can tell there's intellectual thoughts, a lot of psych into his thought, a lot of revealing in his thoughts, and yeah, that is something you start to attract. It's when you start to witness unfoldment, it really becomes a journey of just beauty, and the tighter you can hold that state of being, the more you can express yourself to a higher altitude, the more you can be yourself without compromise, the more you can follow these positive thoughts that are leading you to high quality positive outcomes, the more you'll continue to express yourself to higher degrees, and then you understand that you are abundance. Everything you desire will come to you, because the universe didn't put you here to suffer. You weren't meant to suffer. You choose your suffering, and your lack of awareness is what's causing you to continue to suffer. So if you can understand your own awareness, if you can increase the degrees of your own self-awareness, not on yourself, oh, I look fat, or, well, yeah, that too. It's an invocation of, I need to get better, a mechanism from the universe telling you to expand. I need to get fit. It's not that you're feeling that you're fat, but it's the universe telling you to get fit, right? You're hearing that you're broke, but it's the universe telling you to get rich, right? So you have to understand that you have to have this positive mentality, because if you weren't choosing the negative outcome with the negative neurological pathways you set up for yourself, that you wired yourself into, you wouldn't be listening to those thoughts. You would be listening to the positive outcomes that will correspond to a positive result if you just listened to that thought. Now, there's a lot of information I just dropped on you today, so you know what I'm saying. If you want to listen to me and become more of who you are destined to be, you listen to me, you do what you know what you got to do. Now, like and subscribe. Make sure you keep filling your brain with this valuable information, and I'll see y'all in the next one.